afternoon and welcome to the Board of Education and Business Committee meeting of Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. I'd like to acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the lands of the Hul'qumi'num speaking people, specifically the Kwamutsun Village. The Board of Education is honored to be able to collaboratively walk beside Cowichan, Malahat, Sabasset, Halalt, Penelakut, Stamanas, and Laxan peoples who have cared for this land for thousands of years. May we walk gently on the unceded territories of their lands as we work together to lift up all their ha-has manam. Motion to adopt the agenda, please. Trustee Schmidt, Trustee Thorne, all in favor? Motion carried. Minutes of the October 28, 2025 Board of Education and Business Committee meeting. Board of Education and Business Committee adopts the minutes of the October 28 Board of Education and Business Committee, moved by Trustee Strachan, Trustee Thorne, all in favor. Motion carried. Delegations, Paulson Elementary, Ms. Fiona Somerville, welcome.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here. It hasn't been a long time since I've been here. I was here in April, so I'm happy to be back, and Jenny's going to help me with getting our presentation going. And yes, I do have some student delegates. And parents, thank you very much for coming as well. And yes. I would like to acknowledge Paulson Elementary School rests on the traditional unceded territory of the Zubasset Nation. This was also a shared ancestral hunting and fishing grounds with the Kwamutsun people. We feel honored every day to be able to live, work, and play in this beautiful place. I wanted to give you a quick update because in April I talked to you about what we were doing with our festival for our literacy goals. This time I really wanted to talk to you about a gem that we have out at Paulson, which is Friendship Forest. But before I do that, I just want to give you a little update on how our literacy and numeracy is going. So our literacy groups have been going for about a month now, and this year we were able to incorporate all of our grade 1s and 2s and 3 students into these differentiated groups. And we meet 3 times a week, 45-minute sessions, where we're able to meet some really specific needs of our learners in those settings. So we have, it's going well. We're doing good things with that, but it's always an ongoing process. I'm also happy to say that our kindergarten teachers are working with some district literacy leads to work with UFly, which is another district initiative. And while we're doing all this, the teachers are also working on 5 critical components of reading instruction and are working together to plan and implement the lessons. In numeracy, we haven't been as able to get numeracy groups going. It's just hard to find that time in our day, but we know that teachers are working together and sharing and doing collaboration. We just recently purchased some math resources, numeracy resources through our Scholastic Book Fair dollars, which we have had a good amount saved. It's Math Place. It's foundational primary math skills delivered through a comprehensive balanced approach. It aligns with the goals and visions of the BC math curriculum, and it integrates the First Peoples principles of learning and Aboriginal worldviews and perspectives into many lessons. So this is new for us, so we're looking forward to investigating what this resource is going to be like and how we're going to implement it to help build our common language and goals across our school. I think that's that. Sorry, I'm nervous. Whew, I know I'm going to take a breath. So today I wanted to focus on one of our most important resources, Friendship Forest. The forest on the property we find is integral to helping support the individual and collective well-being of the students, staff, and community. The forest is approximately 12.6 acres and has become a teacher that we visit often. I didn't know till last week how big the forest was. I had actually messaged Jason and I didn't know how big this, I know someone knows, but I didn't know. But when I heard it was approximately 12.6 acres, it was just a little bit, mind-blowing to realize the size of it and knowing that just what a rich resource it is that we have. We are actively caring for place and working to restore the relationship with the land that compels us to move forward in a more ecologically balanced way. Those are thoughts from your strategic plan that I feel that we are living every day. It's connected to our social emotional learning growth, of our student, staff, and community, sometimes we go out there just to have a breath of air, and just when things have been, maybe it's been a tough day, or maybe it's been a tough hour, or the last 5 minutes were really tough, or it's been a really great day, and we just want to go out there and celebrate the beauty that is out there. So we have lots of those. For our presentation, we will share quotes, photos, and experiences and stories with you to help you see the forest as we do. This is some signs that are on 3 entrances to Friendship Forest. So we have an entrance area on our school property, one up on Groskleg, and one down closer to the back of Country Grocer. And it's just a reminder that it is a shared space with community. So we have a signage there that was developed a couple of years ago to just remind people about how we want to kind of keep it as a shared space that we can all enjoy. We also have in our forest these signs that we worked on as a school community, and they're using Dr. Arvin Charlie's book about indigenous plants. We realized, what do we have lots of in the forest? We have lots of sword fern, we have lots of skunk cabbage, red cedars, as well as mosses. And it's a little bit hard to see in the picture, but we worked to have Didadat language in here represented, and then Hokanina as well, because of that shared area. And we also put it in language that is, I'm going to say, easier reading language, because we really wanted it to be for kids of the age of Paulson to be able to go through and read these signs and understand what it means. I'd like to introduce now Elijah Ellison. She is our Lake Cowichan Fire Department Fire Smart Officer, and we have been working together to help do some really important things, and I wanted her to be able to share a little bit.
Yeah, no, I was a little nervous too, and then my whole town came into the room, so I was like, okay, this is better. And this is where I had my interview, because I actually, I worked. I still technically am an employee. I'm an education assistant. I was for 8 years. I've now,
and she's was a parent at Paulson.
Yes.
And she's a parent at Lake Cowichan
Yes,
School.
I am.
And she's an EA who currently is working at Fire Department, and so we have lots of connections.
Yeah, my role is Fire Smart Coordinator. I am on a grant based. I'm an active member at the Lake Cowichan Fire Department as well. I'm just gonna, Fiona asked me to come just to speak briefly on this, but I'm super proud of Paulson and to be a part of this community. And I guess the main goal for Friendship Forest, the project, is to create a safer space, I guess, which my job is 7 principles of Fire Smart, the 2 which Paulson is demonstrating as education and then vegetation management. So what the students have done is clear and mitigate surface fuels and invasive species from Friendship Forest. As a member of the fire department, I've been in Friendship Forest for fires, all of those, that sign that said no, everything. So we really are trying to, I guess, reduce ground fires and keep a safe spot for that.
Yeah, because one of the things as well about Friendship Forest is it is adjacent to the main corridor leading into Lake Cowichan. It is also adjacent to the large muster area, which is Country Grocer, which is also the main grocery store in town, as well as it's adjacent to the only elementary school, the primary school, and so it as well as homes and lots of things that are important to the community. So we take it seriously, as we want to be able to do some work to help this area.
Yeah, you'll see in the slides. Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah. Do I need to stand up here anymore?
No, you don't. Sit down.
Okay.
But so during the month of May, we had done, all the classes worked hard during this month of May during school week, clearing sections of the forest. So Elijah had, made signs up, so we each had sections of this, one of the main forest areas sectioned off. This happens to be on a Saturday, May 31st, which is Fire Smart Awareness Day, And we had a great event where we had family and community come out. It was a very rainy day, but we still had some good showings, and they came out to help participate. And so it ended up, and we also had a parent volunteer who was donating his services to help mulch all the things that we got out of the forest. And we had lots of helpers, all appreciated. And in that time, we were, through the month of May, there were, I think it was about 1,500 kilograms, or about 3,000 pounds of invasive species, as well as forest fire fuel, was taken by students and parents and out of the forest, and members of the public that came to support. And so I just wanted to touch on the fact that we are working on creating sustainable learning environments. This is from your climate action framework, fostering green spaces and outdoor learning areas to connect students with nature and promote environmental stewardship. I think that's what we're doing when we're working on Friendship Forest. I also wanted to say that we are also honored to have Mr. Ken Elliott share his knowledge about plants and their benefits down in the forest. So we're trying to bring Indigenous perspective into our space, and I feel in that, as you know, through the BC Early Learning Framework, which is the first quote, children develop a sense of place when they connect with their local communities and outdoor environment. Early learning is of a place when children and educators engage with local histories with respectful curiosity and a desire to contribute and share. Indigenous peoples have been the knowledge keepers of these places for hundreds of generations. And so we've just got a few more pictures to share. Obviously, you know, it's wonderful when he's there and he's talking and he's sharing, and the kids are loving it, and all the classes are participating. As we know, nature play, children who play outside are happier, more attentive, and less anxious than those who spend more time indoors. Playing in nature stimulates all the senses, promoting a richer understanding of the world. It inspires endless curiosity and wondering, builds in confidence, encourages creativity and imagination, as well as positive effects on mental health and well-being. That's from BC Learning in the primary years. And as I'm stating, we know that play can reduce stress, it increases calm, it can help recalibrate the biological regulatory system, maintain social and emotional equilibrium, and build competencies and resilience to produce feelings of well-being. That's why we all feel that the forest has become a really, one more, yeah, come on in. Come on in. Come on right here. Hi, come on in. So this is why I feel it's important, again, and it does factor into our school's social emotional learning, the well-being of everyone is just such a big part of that. Now, I'm going to move on to our student presenters. We have them here. They're so happy that they've been arrived. And while they're just getting ready to present, I just want to share around the table. Please feel free to pass it around. This is some artwork about Friendship Forest that they created to share with you. And I'm going to ask them to stand up right here, and I'll step out of the way. Now, the students, with the help of their teacher, are going to share a story. Now, this story, the teacher was trying something new. It's always neat to try a new teaching tool. It is it's actually a website. It's called Project Read AI. And so the teacher's sort of exploring what it looks like. And so she was able to take ideas that all the students had shared with her about things that they appreciated about the forest and some experiences that they had. And she tried using the this app to create a story that encompasses all those experiences, and the students are going to share that with you now. Okay, I'll start that. Yeah, this is good.
At Friendship Forest Adventure at Paulson Elementary School, there is a special place called Friendship Forest. This forest is full of tall cedar trees and big cottonwoods. Sword ferns grow all around, and you might even see an elk or a bear if you are very quiet. The forest is a temperate rainforest with rich biodiversity. It is a place where students love to play and learn. Charlie, Annika, Izzy, and Lily are friends who often visit Friendship Forest. They like to sit by Oliver Creek, which rushes and babbles as it flows, and the creek is home to salmon that swim up to spawn in the river. The friends watch the salmon leap and splash, amazed by their journeys. The forest is not just a place for watching nature. It is also a place for fun and games. The friends love to run and play tag among the fallen logs and stumps. They laugh and shout as they dodge around the trees, their feet crunching on the leaves below. But the children know that Friendship Forest is more than just a playground. Their teachers have taught them to be good stewards of the land. They learn about the ecosystem and how every plant and animal plays a part in it. They pick up trash and make sure not to disturb the wildlife. One day as the friends sit by the creek, they talk about what they have learned. We have to take care of the forest, says Charlie. Yes, agrees Annika. So the salmon can keep swimming here. Izzy nods, and so we can keep playing here too. Always on. Friendship Forest is our special place. We must protect it. The forest is their home, a place to play. Fit and leave, a place where they can go and explore it, surrounded by the wonders of nature. All the students love to play and learn in Friendship Forest. Mrs. Somerville, the principal, often visits the forest to see all the fun learning the children are doing, and to lead activities such as forest cleanups. She smiles and as she watches them explore and discover new things. Miss Davis and Miss Martell, two of the teachers, bring their classes to the forest often. They know the children enjoy being outside and having adventures. The forest is full of tall trees and winding trails. It is the perfect spot for learning about nature and having fun. Lennox, Annabelle, Serena, and Aiden are a group of friends who adore Friendship Forest. They like to hide in the hills and play games together. One of their favorite games is tag. They run and laugh, trying to catch each other. The forest echoes with their giggles and shouts. Sometimes the children watch the salmon swim in the stream. They learn how the salmon travel far to lay their eggs. It is amazing to see the fish jump and splash in the water. The children are always excited to spot a salmon. Some days, the students run around the trail for cross-country practice. The trail winds through the forest, and the children love the challenge. They feel strong and fast as they race each other. Mrs. Somerville cheers them on, proud of their efforts. Friendship Forest is a place where learning and play come together. The children at Paulson Elementary School cherish their time there. They learn about nature,
friendship, and the joy of being outdoors. Whether they are playing tag, watching salmon, or running the trail, they always have a great time. Friendship Forest is truly a special part of their school.
So I've just got a couple more pictures to show you. This is some examples of things of the forest and Friendship and Oliver Creek that runs through it. And you can see, like, we can even see history where you see one of the old cedars that has the notches in it from logging. Also, that one on the right, I'm not sure what critter is living in there, but I'm pretty sure there's a critter in there. Next picture. And then, you know, we again love the water. We find salamanders, lots of amazing things. And the next picture, Oliver Creek, it is a circle of life. We do have our grade 3 classes. They do, you know, start with salmon eggs, and they get to the fry stage, and they release them in Oliver Creek. The hatchery is just around the corner. And we also get to see them when the fish come back and spawn and die and rot and all that things that happen. And we also occasionally spot, you know, T-Rexes in the forest sometimes as well. And that's a rare occurrence. And I just want to leave you with another thing. This is when we, all the classes were asking the questions of what does Friendship Forest mean to you? And so I just shared some of these items. These are some of the words that were pulled out of the classroom brainstorms that were happening about Friendship Forest. Hitsapka, thank you for your time today to share with you.
Trustees, do you have any questions, comments? Mr. Thorne?
Just a comment. First off, I want to thank you kids for speaking so clearly without shyness. That's an indication that you are learning, you have your self-esteem, and you're doing great. And you 3 girls forgot to give that one message I asked for. You're on my naughty list. And I'm really impressed that you guys are using the forest and understanding it. You know, all of these things you see around us will eventually fall down, but the forest goes on, and there's a lot of things in it you have to understand. Understanding the sword fern, the fern curls, the devil's club. There's so much stuff out there to learn, and how to return the fish that end up dying. And knowing that you worked with fire department really impressed me, because under Chief Mackey, I was the face response team, and we were the first, and I'm really honored. We did both overland and structure fire. But my compliments to you kids, because you teachers are doing an awesome job. Thank you.
Trustee Schmidt?
Fiona, thank you for that presentation. It was really refreshing to hear your stories of your outside. I know lots of amazing things happen in your classrooms, but it was nice to hear about the amazing things that happen in your outdoor classroom. So thank you for that. And kiddos, yeah, it's not very easy. I know that half your town is here, but sometimes it's not very easy to stand up in front of a whole bunch of adults you don't know. And what I noticed the most is how well you guys supported each other if you were struggling with a word, and you did it with kindness and compassion for your fellow classmates. So well done, and thank you for being so brave to come here and talk to us today.
Yeah, well, I'm curious, have you actually seen a bear out in the forest, you guys?
Yes.
Have you had bears up there?
And they just reminded me there was one other thing they wanted to say, so just stand up for a second. So each one of them did want to share separate from their story. They just want to share personally what Friendship Forest means to them. So I'm going to start with Charlie, because you reminded me. Thank you very much.
My name is not Charlie.
I'm sorry.
She's nervous, that's all.
My my favorite thing about Friendship Forest is, like, not that long ago we were practicing cross country for a race. And I won first place in it.
I like playing with my friend Noah, and the trees fall down, and we like to kiss them. My favorite thing about Friendship Forest is that I can spend a lot of time out there exploring nature with my friends.
Lennox, remember which one?
I like playing with my friends. We like playing tag, and I like when I did the race, and I like hiding in the hills. And
I like the creek and how it makes like the noise when it's going over the rocks.
I like looking at the salmon. I like the river. I like the river.
The river.
I like throwing rocks in the water and playing on the logs.
Thank you for reminding me, sorry, that was something that was important that I wanted to understand.
My question to all our students is, what would school look like without your Friendship Forest?
Some of the classes did ponder that question, and they didn't like the answer. They didn't like to even think about that.
And how does having a forest help your learning inside the classroom?
Questions, trustee Tolman?
How does, when you have those, sometimes you have those brain breaks and body breaks outside, how does that affect you when you then go back in and have to do
I
work?
know.
Yeah.
It calms most people down from like getting mad or like anything that frustrates you, or like having a break of like math or anything, or like loud noises in your classroom. When we get to play in the forest, it takes away a lot of our energy. So if we have to like sit at the carpet after, we can actually like sit still, because the rest cannot really sit still.
It helps them regulate.
And how does it help the teachers?
Sometimes it's hard for us to sit at the carpet. You know, everything either can be, noise is very stimulating. So like sometimes in the classroom, those kids may be in their own challenges being between regulation and dysregulation. We're just like, we're all humans. We all can be regulated and dysregulated at different times. And so I know I can talk to myself for myself personally that the forest is just this very calming place that is helps many of us to just kind of regulate and stay calm. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having us, everyone.
Lauren, one last question.
You know, of all the things I learned today, one of the most important things I want to thank you kids for is this board, our main concern has always been the wellness of our classrooms. And when I look at this, you're telling me, and other kids are telling me, that land-based learning works. And I'm really proud, I'm really impressed, and of all the things that I saw tonight, I'm going to take this home, and I'm going to show my children and say, does your school say these things? You guys are amazing. Thank you.
And Lake Cowichan always does it bigger and better. Thank you.
Every time.
Somebody wanted to come, I couldn't say no. I was like, so, Halton parents, I'm gonna let the kids come on out because Lake Couch is gonna get to us for their presentation.
Thank you very much
For coming.
Thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely.
And then we
Right here. Oh, I love you. Sean, you want to move back? Oh, nice. See you later. Bye. Great job.
Addison, Juniper, Miss Mark, you guys want to come and have a seat up here now?
You think so, eh? Feeling better about that?
I'll stand over on this side. You ready? Or whenever he's ready.
Jenny, just wait for Tim to come back.
Oh, you betcha. You sitting there, or do you want to sit close? It's fine. Just gotta wait for Tim. This one, Mark? You there?
I'm in my second year. Yeah, so it ends.
Half the town went home.
Half the town went home.
What are you doing?
I guess I'll have to figure out.
It's just that. It's gonna be hard to be physically.
I know it's hard.
Yeah.
So if you watch your
Because I didn't know what.
I'm fine, if they would have to. Got it? Okay, you got yours, so.
Hey,
Are we good?
Cowichan Secondary, Miss Jenny Hittinger, welcome.
Thank you. I'd squel siam siat yet. I kwana si lanama. Good day, it's good to see you all. Antha Jenny Hittinger, and before we start our festival presentation, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered here on the traditional territory of the Hulkaminam speaking people, more specifically the Cowichan Nation. We all learn and educate on this traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Cowichan people. The Cowichan Nation are, to this day and every day forward, the rightful caretakers of this territory. It is therefore our obligation to acknowledge, respect, and learn from their knowledge, language, and history. In our first photo that you see in our PowerPoint, these are our current grade 8s. They are looking over Cowichan Lake after a hike. They had just finished grade 7 and they're pondering what it will be like to come downstairs in the high school more fully as a grade 8 student, where our program is 8 to 12. And if you notice, they are being still and enjoying the beauty of our area that we get to work and play in. Today, we would like to tell you about our story, share our festival for the 2025-2026 goals, our success stories, and talk about what's next for Lake Cowichan School. To help me share our story with you, I'm joined by my Vice Principal, Mike Greenslade, our Elementary Literacy Lead, Tarina Mina, our Indigenous Education Teacher, Mar McIntosh, our amazing elementary students, hopefully I'm not blocking them, Carmana Payne, Juniper Gilmore, and from our secondary, Addison Merrick. Next slide, if you don't mind. When we were here just end of April, not too long ago, we shared these 3 lenses that you see off to the right, by which we approach this year's 2025-2026 festival goals. In looking at strengthening the Laker community and pride, we are committed to creating deeper relationships within our school, across our partnerships, and with the land itself. Through revisioning our PLC structure, we are trying to create space for more meaningful inquiry, collaboration, and ongoing professional dialogue. And by identifying these needs and trends through a broad base of qualitative and quantitative data, we are looking to ensure that our decisions are grounded in evidence rather than assumption. Together, These three strands have set the stage for the changes and the growth reflected in this presentation and guiding us toward a more connected, intentional, and responsive learning community. And then I'm going to pass this over to Mike. Do you want me to leave that there, or are you
Sure,
good?
yes, like that. Yeah. So when it comes again to the school, as you know, we're situated in a small community, as you saw, I think, just a few moments ago. And again, it's a lakeside community, multi-generational, and it's focused on the Cowichan River. When it comes to our school itself, right now, our student body is sitting at 425 students compared to where we were back in April. That's about a 6% increase. So I think we have about 208 that are upstairs, and then we have 218 that are downstairs. That's the secondary. With our student population right now, roughly 15%, 15% does identify with having a designation, with another 20% identifying as some sort of Indigenous, whether it be First Nations, Métis, or otherwise. And usually with our community, again, it's not just Lake Cowichan, but they're coming from all over. They're coming over from Kayakuse, Yubo, Scotts Falls, Honeymoon Bay. And then what we want to do, again, the whole theme of today is telling our story through pictures. And what you see here, you have 1, 2, 3 pictures. And the first one on the top left is, again, one of the pillars, well, the 4 pillars we're looking at this year. That's Miss LaRusso with her environmental science class. We talk working with the land. Again, it's a whole bunch of community and service. As they take their learning, they go back and try and restore the land. In our next one, we do have creativity, and that's Mr. Fisher's metal shop, which is new to us. In there, kids are exploring all sorts of different new skill sets. I know one of the pillars there, he has a drill press, but I think right now they're working on making metal roses through welding the piece. And right now at the bottom, we're very happy to celebrate.
And you might see someone familiar.
Yeah, you might see someone, that's good, yeah. Yeah, so Ms. Clark and Mr. Valley, what they're doing, they're off to provincials again, right, for the second year running. I think, as you said, you leave tomorrow morning.
He's
Right.
not, though.
I'm not going.
You're not gonna go now? Oh, okay. So I think, yeah. So okay, but yeah, they're on their way now. They just finished here, second on islands, and they're off again. So we're really happy about that. And so that's the whole idea of athletics. And what you see is that's not just mirrored here in the secondary, but that's now mirrored again in our elementary. And what we have there to do that is we've created an elementary house league where we have our 2 clans. We have our Spaeth, our bear clan, as well as Quay-with-us, which is our elk clan. And the idea is with these pillars, again, is they have different entry points, different competitions. For example, as they compete with different challenges, some are service-based and community-based. Well, and that way they can gain points for the house there. Others are creativity-based. We have that door decorating challenge. Of course, we have athletics, but also added into that, we have an academic door-based challenge. The idea by having all these different pillars, there's different entry points for all the kids to come in and sort of show all their strengths and benefits.
And you can hit the first. But again, because there's some things that are going to pop up on there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And then in a moment, I'm going to invite some both our LCS students and staff to share with you how we are working together to move each of these following goals forward. So the first one that you see on the screen there, Mar McIntosh and Addison Merrick will share their stories around this first goal, which is creating meaningful student-centered learning opportunities. And our next goal, if you don't mind clicking, I know it takes a little bit here. I noticed that, hey. Next will be Carmana Payne and our literacy lead, Trina Mina. They'll be sharing some stories around the second goal, which is targeting resources to students needing academic intervention support. And our third goal, we are going to see Juniper Gilmore and Mr. Greenslade come up and share stories around continuing to build a caring and adult mentorships and strong relationships within the school. And with that, I'll ask you to hit the next slide, and I'll invite Mar to the podium.
Thanks, Welsiam. Ikwanasiitlam Nama, Anthem Mar McIntosh. It's such an honor to be here today and to be asked to present on behalf of Lake Cowichan Secondary. I'm an Indigenous education support teacher, and I come to Lake Cowichan 2 days a week. I'm at another school 3 days a week. And it's been such an honor being part of the community this year. We're really thinking about programs that create engagement and that are centered around students. And from there, we kind of think about that as land-based learning programs. So we've started this year with a Mistimo Shpapanam community plantings program where students work in their community garden with elders, knowledge keepers, on a weekly basis, engaging in kind of traditional medicinal plant knowledge and learning about food crops and irrigation systems and all different sort of ways of knowing, and indigenous ways of knowing are kind of the root of that program. This program really weaves land-based literacy and place-based learning. And I can show you some photographs of this program. Yeah, here you can see students working actually in the garden, and they've been working a lot around composting and understanding kind of soil and creation of soil. And we're just working through the fall with kind of the beginning of this program. And this winter we'll even continue the program and do some seed harvesting and seed packaging as giveaways to elders and community members. And keep going. Yeah. And just to briefly speak one more thing about Mistimo Shpapanam. As the year goes on, students work. They often create signage, and that's rooted in both Didida and Holkomitnam language. And they create signage, and all of that will be documented and photographed and put into a book for the students to bring home at the end of the year. And this is where land-based literacy comes into action. It's kind of bringing the literacy back out of the classroom and back into the classroom. Yeah. And another program that we kind of really enjoyed starting, is out of the classroom and onto the land, or disibak, which is the Didida word for land, or tumo, which is the Holkomitnam word for land. And this program is an inclusive program that kind of ties all classes together, and we go on big land-based days off-site. So recently we went to Sabasset First Nation and met with Aaron Hamilton and had a trail walk and very delicious salmon fire and feast. And it was such an incredible way to kind of engage in the community and in the learning. And the students from there created reflections about this and sort of use these reflections back in the classroom to create information that we can be used to document in a book as well. So it's a real honor to be here speaking about these two experiential land-based programs that are just beginning, and I just feel really honored to speak on behalf. Yeah, so Haitakasim. I'll pass around. These are some books that were created similarly. If you would like to see, these are from Staminas First Nation, but this is kind of going to be a model of what we will use to create the land-based literacy learning books from this program this year.
Quick question. Is that the entire school there, or is that just a couple grades? Or?
It was about
Grade 7s and 8s.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, we had about 100 students and
Wow.
6 teachers. Yeah. We do that. It's a bi-weekly program now. Yeah. It's unconsumed.
And at this time, I would like to call on Addison Merrick to share with us.
Hello, everyone. As you know, my name is Addison Merrick. I am also a DSAC member and an Indigenous DSAC member. And today I'm here to talk about the sports clubs and unique electives that make our school a pretty cool place to be. Our school programs are where students discover their strengths, both physically and mentally. In volleyball, we learn communication and trust. Every rally depends on teammates lifting each other up, and so everyone can play their best. In hockey, we learn determination and teamwork. Every shift on the ice takes focus and effort, and players support each other to keep going no matter what the score is. And in track and field, athletes push their personal limits, learning that improvement comes in one step, one lap, and one throw at a time. Together, these programs show what students can achieve when they work hard and support one another. Another one of our school's greatest strengths is our sense of community. Whenever a student is in need, there's always someone to turn to, a teacher, a counselor, or a friend. Students look out for one another, and people are always willing to lend a hand or offer support when it's needed. It's comforting to be in a place where people know each other, care about each other, and are always willing to help each other. Beyond sports, our school offers a wide range of unique clubs. We have the Rainbow Tea Club, which welcomes students in both elementary and high school. Our drama program continues to grow, giving students a chance to express themselves and build confidence on stage. For those who enjoy creativity and strategy, there are clubs like Dungeons and Dragons Club, Magic Club, and Minecraft Club. All great places to meet new people and try something different. We also offer a Japanese club, where students can explore language and culture in fun and engaging ways. Along with clubs, our school provides a variety of electives that let students choose how they want to learn. New electives, like Metal Shop, give hands-on experience in creating and crafting. We also offer unique options like physical geography, which helps students learn about the world around them. Right now, the physical geography are helping protect our watersheds, as you can see in some of the slides, like the big picture there. And of course, we continue to offer well-loved electives like drama, hockey, arts, foods, and woodwork. These electives let every student, find something they're passionate about, whether it's performing, designing, building, cooking, or competing. All of these programs, our sports, our clubs, and our electives, show what makes our school special. They give students a chance to grow, connect, and discover who they are. And together, they help create a strong, supportive community we are all proud to be part of. Thank you for listening, and have an amazing day.
And next, I would like to invite Carmana Payne to come and talk about our literacy journey.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me here today and letting me share a little bit about our literacy program in my school. At Lake Cowichan School, we have reading groups that help us improve our reading skills. These groups are really helpful because they let us work at our own level and we get the support we need to grow. Our teachers make it really easy to understand and fun, which makes a big difference. They don't just give us books and tell us to read, they actually help us learn how to read better. We've used some cool programs like Youth Rewards, and Reading Lab. These programs help us with sounding out words, understanding what we read, and building confidence. I've noticed that I'm getting better at reading because of these tools and the way our teachers teach us. One exciting thing coming up is that our local hockey team, the Kraken, will be joining us for buddy reading. We are all looking forward to that. It's going to be so fun to read with them and show them what we've learned. Thanks again for letting me speak today. I'm proud of the work that we're doing at our school and I'm happy to be a part of a place that helps us learn about. Sincerely, Carmana.
Just so you know, the few shots in this picture are our grade 6 and 7 students. They are buddy reading at Paulson. And this is some of the pictures of those kids working in those classrooms at Paulson. At this time, I now would like to call upon Trina Mina to help us with our literacy journey.
Thanks, Gretchen. Over the past few years, our district has launched many initiatives, especially that is lean towards literacy education. And I want to begin, as you can see, this is like, it's amazing to hear Carmana today. It really fills my heart right now. By expressing my gratitude for the first time in a very long time. We feel that at the lake, we are truly part of the whole. Through the strong leadership and the dedication of many people, often going the extra mile, and in our case, the extra kilometer, the extra S-curve, the extra hill, we are finally being seen, supported, and given meaningful opportunities to grow. This year's theme of paddling together reflects our journey, and the pilot programs that we have right here on the right. So these are this year's new programs that we have at the lake that we are piloting. And these, when they first came out, I was like, I saw Tim, like, Tim, you're visiting the school, but I'm just going to tell you now. I'm like, wow, panicking. But it's, yeah, he'll remember. it has pushed us to beyond our comfort zones and like, okay, we need to challenge our assumptions here. And we need to think critically of our practices. These programs remind us that, progress will happen if we move together. If we move aligned, we are collaborating, and that we are focused on the same purpose, and that giving every opportunity, especially for our priority learners, the chance to be able to read, to be literate, and be offered a future. I am grateful that our literacy programs are starting to gain traction. The teachers are getting the training and support they need. They are coming, yay. And we are trusted with the pilot programs that will not just benefit the students from the lake, but also the students all over the district. That to us is a huge honor. This means that we're game. We're going with you. We're paddling with you for our students. As we paddle together, I look forward to strengthening our practice and creating a future where every learner can succeed, truly going beyond education. Is there another? That's it. So pretty much the ones on the left are the programs that Carmana talked about already, the U-Fly, Alexia for our learners for targeted intervention. Advanced work study is more for learners who would like to go above and beyond what they're learning already and they're ready to move on. ECVM is for tracking our learners, and it could create graphs and saying, okay, where they started and how they are progressing in their learning. And on the right are the new programs. We have Rewards, Aim Sweat Plus. So Rewards is this one is mostly for intermediate students, but there's another program for high school as well. Read 180, we're learning a lot. This is an intense one, which is mostly online, and then Aim Sweat Plus is progress monitoring. Thank you, everybody.
I was told that I had to zip it down.
Oh, can I go to
This one,
Juniper?
please.
Do
I'll
that one?
explain later, yeah.
Okay. I am changing slides. I will welcome
You can still invite her
Mr.
up.
Greenslade to the mic.
So yeah, please
You
invite,
wanted me to go?
invite Juniper up, yeah. This
I can invite Juniper up?
We had a cute picture of Juniper, but she's here in person, and so we just had to, it wasn't quite a polished slide, so it's just been bumped, and
Okay.
we're still up to
Come
Juniper.
on up, Juniper.
Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Juniper and I'm in grade 6. Today I want to share some of the amazing things our school is doing to support social, emotional, and mental health for students. One of the things we really enjoy is Monday meditation. Starting the week with meditation helps us feel calm and focused. It gives us time to breathe, clear our minds, and get ready for learning. Many of us feel less stressed and more positive after these sessions. We also do yoga. Yoga helps us relax and pay attention to how our bodies feel. It's a great way to manage stress and stay healthy. We also have fun activities that keep us active and connected. On Friday mornings, our elementary students do a Friday fun run around the school. It's a great way to start the day with energy and teamwork. At lunch on Fridays, we have Friday floor hockey where students play against teachers, and sometimes even members of the Lake Couch and Cracking hockey team join us. These activities make school exciting and help us build strong relationships. Our teachers spend a lot of time teaching lessons about self-confidence, self-regulation, and social responsibility. These lessons are part of social emotional learning, and they help us understand our feelings and how to handle them. They also teach us how to work well with others and be kind. We also do gardening sometimes, and that really helps with connecting with the earth and getting outside into fresh air. One program we use is called Open Parachute. It's really helpful because it gives us tools to deal with challenges and reminds us that we're not alone. It teaches us to be more understanding and more supportive of our classmates. All of these activities, meditation, yoga, cell lessons, and fun physical activities make a big difference. They help us feel safe, respected, ready to learn. They also make our school a kinder place where everyone feels included. Thank you for supporting these programs. They are helping us not just grow as students, but as people. And thank you for listening respectfully.
So yeah, just following up on that is another part of our third goal is where we're going those mentor relationships as well as building community in the school. one thing we really wanted to do is look at leveraging some of our resources. So what we have done through, say, our ICY teams, our Integrated Child and Youth teams, through our College and Lake Community Services, and through counseling practicum courses, we've been able to bring resources in where they meet usually 3 times a week. Sometimes they meet in the morning, sometimes they meet at lunch. They create little work groups to help our kids with that. What you see here as well is this is like 3 years running now. We have the Roots of Empathy program. And what that's designed is here we have Miss Ness. She's actually an INED teacher in the district. That's little baby Della. So they're meeting with both of our grade 4 classes, and over the journey as the kid grows, as that baby gets bigger and bigger, starts learning how to talk, learning how to walk, that's where they teach empathy. They start teaching ideas of patience and how we can navigate just so that, just growth as being a journey. We also have here, as we mentioned, we already have the open parachute. And another big one, what that's happened, that's been taking off pretty much all across our elementary levels there, is where the kids, again, what we're trying to do is create a shared common language and cultures around how we deal with behavior, how we deal with resiliency, how we deal with conflict. And a big part now, which is coming in, which I think first had its initial sort of genesis 3 years ago, and now it's finally active. We are in partnership with Restorative Justice Cowichan, and what they are doing is they're working with our social justice class, they're working with our leadership class, and they're also working with our peer counselors. And the idea is we're trying to create those mentors inside the high school, that then when they go down and navigate relationships with their elementary kids, they can use those same skill sets to hopefully dissolve some of the conflict there. But we're also trying to use it as a planning mechanism, bringing the students, giving them a sense of ownership over the school. And when we lose those sort of circle chats, is what we can do, like what are some of the things that we're missing as teachers and staff. We don't always see it all, engaging the kids that way and trying to bring them in to meet that third goal.
As we close, we hope these pictures and stories have shown a clear evidence of our growth, the growth in our students, in our practices, in our community. This final collage reminds us that we rise by lifting one another, and that true progress happens when every voice is heard and every person is supported. The student being lifted in these pictures, then turning back to support others, is our 2025 graduate, Gavin Merrick. And I feel the image beautifully captures the spirit of how we grow together. Our last slide, if you don't mind, Fiona. Thank you. Here's a beautiful picture of Cowichan Lake in Lake Cowichan. We selected this picture to remind us of the importance of continuing on our journey. And we want to promote resilience and personal responsibility to nurture an overall healthy community. We want to restore our relationship with the land itself and act in a balanced and a mindful way. And so without further ado, I would like to say Hi Sepka, CM, and or as the Sabasset Nation says, Kleko Kleko. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustees, any questions? Mr. Thorne.
Thank you. And it's Kleko. I'm really impressed with what your kids are doing. And I see other potential. Lake Cowichan has got unwritten history. I'm sure everybody here has heard about the canoe journeys. The very first canoe, led by Roy Vickers, when he got his chieftainship, came into Lake Cowichan because I was the one in a button blanket that received him. So that's historic that you need to understand. You gave your community gave birth to something. And seeing how you learn so much. I look at Trina and I look at you and I think our cultures are so similar that you two need to get together and go a little bit farther. Learning other cultures and how they're so similar is so important. It doesn't matter what nationality you are, you're a human. And understanding the value of water, the emotion that water carries, understanding the trees. You know, the old ones say if you listen, you can hear them talk. So you kids are to be praised because you've taken a step. And I hope that this continues because you're the ones we're looking for tomorrow for better understanding. So thank you.
Bravo. Mind, body, and soul. So thank you all. I have a question actually. In one of the books, but I know that the kids talked about it. When you grow your veggies and stuff, do you actually take that next step and teach the kids how to store them and process them?
Yeah, and there's usually a traditional food harvest, like luncheon, that's usually made in September from the things that are grown in your garden.
But do they learn how to process them, like can them and stuff and put them away? They do. That's excellent. Kiddos, well done. Yes, I do see a nice familiar face there. So well done there, Addie. And thank you for sharing your truths and your honesties with us, because we always wonder how things are going from the kid perspective. And so we really appreciate hearing your voices, because really we listen to your voices more than we listen to the adults' voices, because your voices are the most important. So thank you for being here today, and thank you for sharing your truths and your stories.
I had a question about the literacy support programs. And first off, I just really want to commend you for putting up the point about investing in staff, because it is students first. That's what we do at the school board. But in order to have the best students, we need great teachers and staff, not just teachers. But so I was curious, for all those literacy support programs, is there an element of instruction for teachers before those programs are, there is a?
We have, apart from the training programs, usually it's continuous. It goes throughout the whole year. Through the literacy coordinators, we communicate what needs are for the staff, and we say, okay, we need a refresher or we need an introduction. Those who are coming back into the workforce are new. We have sent teachers to different sites to see, like, okay, how can we compare and contrast, how can this be done at the lake, and how it would work with our schedule, how it would work in our classroom. So there's been a lot, and we've been released and for time, and there's a lot of support. I really appreciate that.
We also try to focus, like our 4s and 5s are kind of doing the youth lab, and then that way they all have a team teacher to work with or a colleague to connect with around things and to make up different groups. Our grade 6s are the pilot group with that rewards. So we've had a lot of great support, and these two teachers are working together with their kiddos. And then our sort of 7s, we have one class that's a 6-7, they're working with the reading rep so that they can work in collaboration as well with a colleague.
Do you maintain those programs over a period of time or swap them out if they're not? Okay.
Oh, well, the kids can move within, of course, based on.
Excellent. Well, I just wanted to thank you for putting that point about investing in people within the school too, because it is all about the kids and the students, but part of that is investing in employees too. So I think that's the first time I've seen that specified in a presentation from a school. So just wanted to recognize it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Lake Cowichan, as I said earlier, always does it bigger and better than everybody else. And it's always one of the best schools to come and visit, just because there's just a nice vibe there. To the students, how do you like going to the big school and being in the big school, even though you're not quite a teenager yet?
Well, Addie went through it, I guess, from grade 4.
They really miss Paulson, just know.
Jim is bigger at LCS.
But we come visit during.
I know, I just do.
During Terry Fox run,
Yeah.
we make sure that we swing by, run around, and say hi to their teachers, and yeah, they love that.
It's kind of all you know, though. Like, you don't know what it's like to be in a school that's like K to 6, or K to 7.
It's kind of weird to think.
The Christmas dinner is always, you guys are always together for that.
Well, thank you very much for coming, and as I said, Lake Cowichan is always one of the best, most funnest place to visit, and the visit to the boardroom has probably been one of the best. Thank you very much.
Oh, Eduardo's gonna be bummed. That base, we're gonna get him missed it all.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's worth it. That's worth it. Thanks for coming down.
Oh, he's gonna help with investigation.
I tried to look up.
Well, yeah.
Want to do another day?
Hey girl, can I ask you a quick question out there? Oh, thank you. Hi, I was
Yeah.
It's not gonna get any lighter. That's true. You win. Yes. Well, we'll see what.
Everybody's gone. And everybody's gone now.
Yeah, there's someone out of the room.
Jason.
Back to the spring meeting. Thanks for coming, Mike. Yeah, good to see you guys. Thanks for coming.
And then you guys come over there.
Thank you. Have a good trip.
Their stuff?
Is that for their stuff? That's for their stuff?
No, get it to them if it is.
Okay, now the rest of this.
Elbow room.
New and revised administrative procedures response to unexpected health emergencies.
That's me, Chad.
Mr. Sandquist.
Thank you. There are two administrative procedures being brought to the board's attention. They're not for approval. They'll be in place after this meeting. The first one is in response to the new ministerial requirement that AEDs and naloxone be in place in all the school district sites. And we had updated the board that those products have been ordered. Naloxone is currently here, and the AEDs are expected shortly. But with that, that new ministerial requirement was a requirement to either have a policy or an administrative procedure. So I'll get to that AP here in a second. So Jeff Rowan has prepared that administrative procedure. The second one, so that's new. The second one is an update, AP 404. It's an update to employee conflict of interest. And so where this policy, or not policy, this AP has been updated is where an employee may provide professional services to a student in both a private role and that same student in a school district role, and conflicts can arise on the provision of those services in two different areas. So we have made some AP amendments to that as well. So scrolling to AP 174, I mean, it's here for information. It ensures that we have AEDs available and naloxone kits where necessary in the schools, and it discusses their accessibility and how they're equitably distributed across all schools. So those are on track to be installed with proper signage and with proper cases, and in a spot that's easily accessible by the end of December. And that's the requirement for secondary, but we think we'll have them all in place. So there's an AP here. It's one page long. I'm not really going to read it all, but it talks about the responsibilities of the facilities department to install and track and make sure the batteries are up to date. Talks about the responsibilities of the health and safety manager in regards to the distribution of naloxone and tracking that expiration. And then the school principals have responsibilities as well. There also has to be training in place, so it also talks about the staff's responsibility to participate in that training to use those products when they're when they're at the school. So that is the responding to health emergencies, AP. The second one, as I mentioned, it's just an update to existing AP 404. You'll see some consolidation. There used to be separate categories for direct and indirect pecuniary interests, so those have been, that section has been simplified for clarity. We know that we are always conscious, being in the public sector, of conflict of interest. And so this is what this AP does, is it just really updates, in particular, Section 4, professional services provided to students and families. So there is a possibility for conflict in providing a dual role, and some examples of where that could be. If there's a question of conflict, somebody would consult with human resources or my position to determine whether conflict exists. And we would reference best practices around that. Any questions? No? The next item here is policy 19. This is related to transportation services. This first appeared at the board table last month, where it was referred to the board's advisory committee, which had a look at it recently. Its next stop is here at BEBC. There is one minor change that the board haven't seen, and it's very minor. In the first draft, we had children in care and not children and youth in care. So we updated that terminology in the final version here that's here for BEBC to review. Otherwise, it is as it was at the board table, as it was at the advisory committee. And if it's it is very brief. There will be an AP that will follow. You'll see that shortly. That will have much more detail around when transportation services can be provided on dangerous roads, for instance, or places that aren't accessible. We'll probably start discussing ridership. If a student isn't riding, whether they need to re-register, who's holding a seat. Items like that will become more in the AP. This is really the high-level board policy to state that the ridership will in the future be prioritized in this manner. Okay.
Thank you. So we have a motion that the Board of Education and Business Committee recommends that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley adopts Policy 19, School District Transportation Services. And a mover, seconder, Trustee Thorne, Trustee Schmidt. All in favor? Motion carried. There we go. Committees and highlights. The advisory committee meeting of November 18th. Trustee Schmidt.
Well, in the absence of the chair and the vice chair of that committee, I will read out that our educational partners were all present at the last Tuesday's advisory meeting, as well as District Student Advisory Council. Trustee Croft Schmidt, Assistant Superintendent Jeff Rowan, also present at DSAC, about participating in the advisory committee. Shemaina's Elementary and Francis Kelsey both recently benefited from traveling to Penellicut and Malahat to meet with elders, walk the land, and listen to teachings, experience that will surely stay with the students for a long time. New policy, the new policy 10 regarding bus transportation, that should be 19. There were quite a few questions, especially from DPAC. So arrangements were made for the Secretary Treasurer to present to DPAC and answer questions early in the new year. Superintendent Davey provided a summary of Bill 40 and the new LEA template, along with some information about the Indigenous Education Council that recently adopted their terms of reference. The next meeting is in January.
Thank you. And that there be no further business, motion to adjourn. Trustee Stratton, Trustee Schmidt. All in favor? Thank you very much.